Some dreams are big. Some dreams are small. Some dream to go from place to place. Dreams of love and ever after. Dreams and sacrifices that builds the future. Whatever the dream or step or journey, you can do more with a partner that cares about your dreams. Access, more than banking.
Let's go ahead. The first quarter unaudited report of Lafarge, 26%, 26.77% growth in the turnover for the Q1, 92.18% growth in the bottom line. The earnings grew from 57 kobo to 1 naira 9 kobo at a price of 25 naira 55 kobo. The PE ratio for the first quarter is 23.44. If we analyze this, it will definitely give us less than 6. Earnings yield 4.27%. That's rather low, but the profit margin is not bad. Indicators are looking up with Lafarge, but I will put this question to you. This kind of result, is it sustainable?
Yeah, I believe so. If you look at Lafarge, if you look at the history of Lafarge, they struggled with finance costs. And in fact, that is exactly what even happened in this quarter one. You can see that, like you have said, their turnover grew by 27%, but there will also corresponding growth in their middle line. But one of the things that actually helped them was a whooping 67.9 drop in their finance costs. And you know it was this finance cost that hit their balance sheet that made them to do a right issue at 22.50 and another right issue at 12.50, and the price declined from 100 to about 11 naira. So I think what it means that maybe they have gotten it, they have gotten where they missed it, and they are coming back.
So because of that, you have raised that.
I just believe that I will term the result as a managerial expertise.
Africa Prudential, we had Idiong here some time ago. He did tell us that the company is currently undergoing some form of transformation. So the top line grew by 9.95% and the bottom line by 5.71%. The earnings of 20 kobo with a price of 6 naira. PE ratio 29.77. If we are to analyze this, it will give us something in the region of 7 or 8, which will still not be bad relatively. Yeah. Okay, earnings yield of 3.36%, profit margin of 44.41%. The profit margin is very, very good. Where do you see African Prudential with this result going forward? I know most likely the market will not appreciate this, but what I will want everybody to know about this organization is that when you are in a rehearsal as a performer, nobody sees you. But when eventually you come to begin to display your skill, which you have taken time to rehearse, what do? If
everybody clap for you. What I just saw that the indices are showing my growth. But like that high profit margin of 44%, and considering that this is just quarter one, I think anybody that a position in Africa for intermediate and long term will not regret it. It just shows that there's a trajectory, there's growth trajectory.
Okay, so I'm recommending, I don't know what Aruna will say, I would suggest you take position in it, but long term position. And I have heard some people saying on our platform that maybe poor management. It is nothing like poor management. I tell you, I will still look for the opportunity to bring Idiom here so that we could discuss this first quarter report together. Bua Cement. From what I can see, because their turnover grew by 58.50%, profit after tax by 48.18%. Okay, looking at the result of BUA and that of Lafarge, you could see that it's like Lafarge is now trying to gain, because as we speak, by turnover performance, Dangote Cement will be the biggest in the industry. BUA, which used to be the former cement company of northern Nigeria, actually happened to be the second. But it's like Lafarge is trying to catch up with them. But looking at the growth in the figures in Lafarge, it is definitely superior to what we are seeing in BUA. Okay, now the price is not that active. It will just come out like CCNN was doing back in days.
It has been at 70, 75. I think what we saw in this stock was after that engineering from CCNN to Calabama to Obo Cement, then the delisting of CNN at 18 naira 10 kobo and the listing of BUA at 35 naira. I think that is both the dividend and the earnings have not been commensurate with the price. So it's like the market is looking at the price is a little bit on the outside. At that 70, 75, if you see any trade in BUA, it might actually be a 10% lower than at the 10% low for the day. And what keeps the price at 70, 75 because it's difficult to come by 100,000 for both buy and sell.
Okay. Now, what will be your suggestion, your recommendation, buying or not buying?
If you can get it 10% lower than the 17 naira 65 kobo that is traded.
Stanbic IBTC released its first quarter unaudited report for 2022 to the market, with a growth in bottom line 47.72%, and then profit after tax grew by 33.87%. The earning per share of 1 naira 16 kobo at a price of 33 naira 25 kobo. The P ratio is 28.59, which is not that bad if it has to be annualized. Earnings yield 3.50%, profit margin 22.41. But the result isn't bad. But as far as I'm concerned, this result should be better, going by the current price of 33 naira 25 kobo, because this price is higher than that of Zenith. This price is higher than that of GTCO.
You see, I think what we've seen,
and their earnings are far superior to this.
What we have seen is that over time, the past performances and declaration of dividend of Stanbic took it to the price at which we have seen, and because of the shareholding structure, it is not always easy for the market to actually bring the price of Stanbic down. So if you are looking at Stanbic because of this performance coming down to the price of GTCO and Zenith, you might not see it.
No, I'm not saying because really I can tell that Access of Q1 earnings will be bigger, will be higher than this. UBA will be higher than this. Zenith will be higher than this. That is much that I know. It is not a privileged information. This is just what I know, and I stand to be proven wrong. Anyway, my own issue is this: why must I see equities with superior earnings, and I go to pitch my tent with Stanbic IBTC?
It depends on what investors are looking for.
What am I looking for?
You might actually be a speculator and not investor.
Okay, if I'm an investor, what do I stand to get here?
The question is how many of what is the percentage of that is in the hands of the public? I think that is what we are saying.
If it is not in the hands of the public, let those who are currently holding it and they will not push it out, let them continue to hold it. But the truth of the matter is that I cannot, under whatever circumstance, see equities in the same industry that will give me superior earnings, and all I will need to do is to go pitch my tent with the one that, yes, the price might not necessarily come down, but I'm not going to get anything, even in that capital appreciation you're talking about, and I'm not also going to get dividend payout that will be commensurate with the current price of the stock. We should please borrow ourselves sense if there's anything like that. Number one, if you look at the price of Access at less than 10 naira, it will be higher. The price of Access of less than 10 naira, but the first quarter, the Q1, is going to be higher than this. So you are talking about if the price of Stanbic will be justified, the price should be like times 3 of what it is.
You know, like what I don't want to let you know is that, see, people that have interest in Stanbic IBTC know why they do. And if you are an investor and you are looking for money to make, you should know where to look at. There's no volatility in the price of Stanbic. If you go back maybe the next time you are looking at the quarter two, you can still be at this price.
Okay, our time is far-fetched. Industrial and Medical Gases Nigeria PLC. One or two statements about them, just to cover them before we leave.
I think they gave a bonus of 1 for 5, which is equivalent to 172 kobo.
So that makes it attractive.
Yes.
Now, Unilever, where do you think this growth in profit is coming from?
They were able to grow their market share while keeping it down significantly on the control.
So it's not a situation whereby they are going to sell it.
Even their finances can grow. I think they didn't sell it.
Which means that Unilever is coming back up.
Yes.
Will you advise it that one should buy?
Yeah, I think
Now, looking at the gainers for last week, Mayor, as we speak now, has gained 405% in the year, 45.63 last week alone.
See, what I do know is that if as at the time Mayor was taking off, you take the risk, fine. But the question is, you don't know when the fire.
Do you know the reason why it is even moving?
In fact, I don't know.
That remains a mirage. We'll try to look at it. Now, talking about profit taking in Academy, is it justified? This is one of those companies with good results on the floor.
Because the market is waiting for their next result. The last result we saw, like I said, was what took it from 30 kobo to over 2 naira. So the market is, and another thing again is that you see, especially for last market, as we begin to hear news from Owando, begin to hear news from Etana, people will be leaving their positions. Because they have, let me use the word cash out. People will be cashing out from some position to come and take position.
So maybe that was why also RT Briscoe is now down.
Yes, because some people have made that they are.
Do you see RT Briscoe coming back soon?
If it gets to where it is coming from, it has the ability of reversing.
That is about how far we can go today. I want to say a very big thank you again to you, Haruna, for being available today. I want to say a very big thank you to you for staying tuned, particularly if you took the time to invite someone to join us as we make the journey towards financial emancipation. I will not close without saying a very big thank you to the management of Lagos Television for making this platform available and their staffers for their cooperation as usual. My team, you are the best as always. I've got to go, but by the grace of God, I'm going to be returning here at the same time, the same station next week. Until then, I remain yours sincerely in wealth creation, accumulation, and preservation. Abayomi Opapulijo. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your week.
This is the future. This is the time to do more. Give more. Help more. Be more. A future where more compassion and more empathy will make us more human. A future where more technologies and more digital platforms will help bring more people to safety and prosperity. Welcome to the future. Here, you can be more with us. Access.